From the studios of Atlantic Television Network in Port Harcourt, this is ATN International News. First, the headlines. Russian fighters killed 9 civilians. Ugandan military to behead opposition leader. Rebels seized key town in Congo. Ecuador's ex-vice president evacuated from prison. 4 indigenous people shot in Brazil. Ukraine launches attack in Kursk region. Former Greek prime minister dies at age 88. 9 civilians, including women and children, were killed in an attack on a vehicle in Mali's Segal region last week. And allied fighters from Russia's Wagner private military contractor group. In a separate statement, the head of Kel Answer, one of the largest terrorist groups, called for an investigation but said Malian troops were not behind the bloodshed. The Malian army did not respond to a request for comment. Wagner could not immediately be reached. Wagner fighters have been in Mali since the army seized power in 2 coups in 2020 and 2021 and kicked out French and UN troops. They have been supporting Mali. Head of Uganda's military, who is also the son of long-standing President Yoweri Museveni, said he wanted restoring order amid chaos wrought by gangs, the mission said. Another 75 soldiers arrived a day earlier, taking the total Guatemalan troop numbers to 150. All the reinforcements come from Guatemala's military police unit, Guatemala's government said in a statement. Further 8 soldiers from Els has arrived on Friday. 4 indigenous people, including a child, were shot during an attack in southern Brazil late on Friday. Federal police and an indigenous rights organization said on Saturday as violence escalates in the region. Attackers opened fire against the indigenous community near the city of Guaria in the southern Paraná state, injuring 4 people, later hospitalized, the leg and who hit in the leg and the other in the back, said CIMI. The entity said a 4th person shot in the jaw was sent to a hospital in Cascavel, one of the largest cities in the state. Police said it has started. 2 members of the Ava Guarani people were injured in the last days of 2024, said CIMI, with 1 having been shot in the arm. The Ministry of Indigenous Affairs condemned the acts of violence against the Ava Guarani people, saying it is in talks with the Ministry of Justice and Public Security for the immediate investigation of armed groups acting in the region. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce as early as by late October. His resignation is likely to spur fresh Donald Trump for the next 4 years. The Prime Minister has discussed with Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc whether he will be willing to step in as interim leader and Prime Minister. One source told reporters, adding that this would be unworkable if LeBlanc plans to run for the leadership. President Joe Biden signed MREs who drop public pensions, such as former police officers and firefighters, in what the White House is giving the Republicans leaders frequent complaints about the cost of U.S. support for Ukraine. It is unclear what Trump's approach to sanctions on Russia will be. The Biden administration is planning sanctions targeting tankers that carry Russian oil sold above the West's $60 per barrel price cap, the sources said. Russia has used this so-called shadow fleet of aging ships to evade the cap. Many of the ships are less safe and prone to spilling oil discounts to the overall market, even if sold above the price cap. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told reporters last month that the U.S. is looking control of the situation after initial mistakes and encircled Ukrainian forces north of a highway leading to the regional capital Kursk. Acting Kursk Governor Alexander Kinstein told people to trust only official sources and warned displaced residents not to return to unsafe areas without permission. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we continue with the rest of the stories.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains.
Electrical supply system operating was insufficient. Wrote that the power generated is not sharply rising demand. All industries except those producing food have been shut down. The official Telegram news channel of the region's separatist authorities announced the official closure on Saturday of a steel mill and a bakery in the town of Ribnitsa. Regional officials announced new measures to residents,